Mr. Luetkemeyer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, thank you for the frankness of your answers today. Compared to some of the recent witnesses we've had, it's very refreshing. Thank you. I'm kind of curious. I think, to me, the question here is the protocol or process that you have in place with regards to reviewing 30,000 complaints a year, and what raises it to a level that you would start to investigate the floor mat problem, for instance. So can you kind of give me a little overview of your process or your protocols that you have in place with regards to how many complaints do you have to have, how serious do they have to be before they're raised to the level of requesting a recall from the manufacturer, and kind of walk us through that process so we can see how some of this may have...
Well, I mean, there really isn't, I can't give you a number where you say, you know, once you get 25 complaints, that's it. That's the, you know, that's the benchmark. It depends. I mean, the gentleman from Utah was questioning why it took 1,300 one place and a lesser number in another place. And it's the seriousness of the complaint. It's our people who are experts really looking at these, driving looking at the research, talking to the people that own the automobile, talking to the car manufacturer, and really trying to discover if there's a serious flaw or defect or something wrong. And
so it's
a judgment call.
It's more individualized based on the particular incident that you're
That's
investigating.
Right.
Is there a certain number
and if
of
there's a
complaints,
commonality, say
Yeah.
that, you know, there's 100 complaints and they're all about the same thing, then obviously that's probably an issue that we need to look at.
I know a couple of members were talking about trying to bring into the investigation information from other parts of the world. Have you done that at all with any recent investigations?
We do that. I mean, we try and get information from the foreign car manufacturers and other places in the world. We look at it and see what it says.
I know that you've mentioned that you're going to looking to try and get some more engineers on your watch here, and one of the things that the folks at Toyota have made a comment about is that they believe, and the comment was, the new team has less understanding of engineering issues and are more focused on primarily legal issues. Do you think that's a fair statement, or is that the necessity for more engineers?
Is the statement that engineers are working on legal issues? Is that what that said?
No, what they're trying to say is that your focus is more on the legal part of it versus the actual engineering part where the problem really is.
I mean, I don't buy that argument, but you know, if you want me to get you some statistics on it, I can do that for the record. But look at
they're actually making an argument for more engineers for you.
Well, the president put in our budget 66 new positions, and we think that'll be a good resource for us.
And I think, quite frankly, I think a point needs to be made here as well, that a lot of the problems that we're dealing with today with regards to Toyota is their engineering versus the quality of the vehicle itself. I think that, you know, the manufacturing and the quality of the parts on a vehicle are not in question here. It's the engineering of these parts that cause some of the problems to happen. So I guess one more question I have with regards to all of this, when you're starting to investigate, do you bring in outside experts as well to try and work on these issues? In other words, if you have an issue your engineers are not capable of doing, or actuarially you're not sure about this, where do you go to get that information? What experts do you go to?
We go to people on the outside who are expert electrical engineers or mechanical engineers, or you know, we find, look, there are a lot of good people around America who can provide expertise, and we're not bashful about doing that if we don't think we have it in-house.
Do you make recommendations to the manufacturer on how to rectify a situation, or do you leave them up to them to come with?
We leave it up to them, and we don't sign off on it. They come to us and say, "Oh, well, we think this is the fix," but we don't put our stamp on it. But we make sure that they really believe this is the fix.
Mr. Secretary, I appreciate your comments today, and thank you. I'll yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now yield 5 minutes to the gentleman from Virginia, Congressman Connolly.
With the consent of the chairman and the committee, I would like to yield my time to Mr. Lynch, who has a pressing